Gary sold me a PSA 10 first edition Charizard. There's only like 120, maybe 121 in the world. I went in there with the intention of buying one of his BGS 10 Charizards. There's only 2 in the world. I've always wanted a BGS 10 Charizard, right? And I just didn't know how to get it because the only guy with both of them is Gary, and he would not sell that to me. And so he sold me this PSA 10 Charizard, and I'm looking at this card on the way home from Vegas, and I'm sitting there, I'm like, yo, this fucking card is perfect. I don't know how. He mentioned that he tried to get PSA to cross it over to a BGS 10. It's called a crossover, and oftentimes it fails. Yeah. I'm assuming because they're competitors, and like, if a PSA 10 crosses over to a BGS 10, what does that do to the novelty of the market? Yeah, you know, it's scarcity. You got to keep it thin. And so I'm like, damn, he tried to cross it over. That's crazy because it didn't work. And I'm looking at this card and it's perfect. And I wonder why it didn't work. I wonder if there's like some sort of like inherent beef between the companies, whatever. But I thought to myself, I wonder what would happen if I cut this card out, this $150,000 card out of the PSA case and submitted it as a raw card.
Oh, that's risky because what if they like go, oh, it's a 7 now, or a 6?
Not only that, they can downgrade it.
But what if it goes?
No. What if when you take out the $150,000 card from the PSA slab, because it's not a super clean process. You have to use like wire cutters and like a screwdriver. And like, now I know. If you nick that fucking thing,
it's over.
This much, you lose $100,000 like this.
Yep.
So I'm like, fuck it, bro.
What?
I'm that dude. Fuck it.
You're that guy.
I'm gonna try to cut this out of the case and risk losing my investment, my prized possession.
Just for us, how much more would it go if it would the win? You're risking it. What's the win?
Well,
how much more of a difference?
That's later on in the story.
Yeah, I mean now it's like $1 million card, bro. I walked out with that card to the Floyd Mayweather fight, but I'm getting there. So I cut this card out. Surgical. I practiced.
What? It was one of the scariest things I've ever seen. He's standing there with what equates to like a giant wrench, like a
There's a fucking screwdriver and bolt cutter.
And he takes it and he's bending the durability of the fucking case with this thing, and everybody, there's like 10 people huddled around, their eyes bulging out of it, and it goes.
Yeah.
Like I'm trying to, and you're gonna see this video at some point. I don't know why it's still. We filmed this probably fucking 18 fucking months ago.
Well, the only reason I bring it up now is because
he did something, right? What happened?
That's why.
Wait, what happened?
I saw this.
I'll tell you. So I fucking flew to Texas. I submitted it to BGS as a raw card. It got graded a fucking 10. It became the 3rd BGS 10 in the world, probably 5x the value right there. It was like a good luck charm to me. I felt like that day, I just felt so like just like happy and grateful that I was able to do something kind of bold, and it fucking worked. Like it fucking worked. Yeah. And why I hadn't brought it up or posted this video is because like I'd assume, and I'll just be honest with you, there were a couple things. One, I'd assume this is kind of frowned upon in the industry. People have done it, but I don't know if anyone as like public about the space has done it.
But why is it frowned upon?
Well, I don't know. I haven't like talked to anyone about it. Like, I don't know. I just wonder if people will think it's like it's a scummy move. But like, I'm gonna be honest with you. I work smarter, not harder. And if I'm willing to sacrifice my $150,000 card for a bias that I think may have taken place on the grading, because guess what, bro? Guess who grades these cards? People. And maybe one day the grader is feeling a certain way and grades it a little higher than they would the next day. Maybe it's a different grader. It's not a perfect science. And so I fucking gambled and I fucking won. And like, I love the community and obviously collecting and everything and in my card. And so I've been very delicate with how I weave this story. And so the first time I showed that I had this card was the Floyd Mayweather fight. And you can imagine Gary sitting there, because this was my second concern.
Can I do it?
No, this was my second concern, bro. I have a lot of love for this guy.
He's so nice.
He's like,
oh my God.
He's like the grandfather of the space. And so my second concern was like, fuck, bro, what is Gary gonna think?
Played Barbie.
Like, how do I tell this to Gary? Because he even asked me about it before the Mayweather fight, and I beat around the bush because I didn't want to reveal that I had the card because my reveal was the Mayweather fight.
Yeah.
I just wasn't unwilling to spoil that for anyone. And so I didn't lie, but I beat around the bush, and I saw a video of him speaking on it recently. And I didn't know, because he never told me how he like really felt about it. Because think about it, bro. He had 2 of the only BGS 10s in the world. Now there's a 3rd, and I have it. I could see how that could, and it used to be his card.
Okay.
Do you see how that could maybe upset him a little bit?
Not even a little bit.
Why?
Wait, you can.
That's greedy,
No,
bro.
hold on a sec. You clearly can see
I
how that
cannot.
could.
I cannot. If I can never look at
All right,
somebody
ready
else
for this?
succeeding more.
You're the only person in the world with a 10-foot cock. Only person in the entire world.
can't, no.
All of a sudden, somebody else
I'm
comes
not
around
gonna-
and they have one too, and you can't see why that would upset this person just a little bit.
I will never in my life ever
George.
be upset at that shit.
I know you wouldn't, but you can at least see. George, fucking see.
Admit that you
George,
can
for
see.
the fucking
Admit you
nature
can
of the
see.
show, admit that you can.
Admit you could see what
I will
we're
not
talking
see
about.
anything. I will not. I'm not gonna play that game. Fuck that. No, if I gave you anything, right, and you bought it with your hard-earned money, and you're like, yo, I want to buy this, and I sold it for the price that I wanted it, and you chose to do something to make it more valuable, and you succeeded in that, what kind of person would look down at that?
space,
Guess
man.
what? Guess what? I wasn't sure. I wasn't sure what he was going to think. He didn't take that sentiment. He
got mad?
No. He's a fucking angel.
Yeah, he's so
Oh, so he saw like how I saw it.
Yes.
Yeah.
And God bless him.
He said he mentioned in his video, he goes, when I sold the card to Logan and when I just watched his follow-up, he said something like, I could see the kid cares. Like he gives a fuck about collecting Pokemon cards in the space. And because I really do. And so I think if there were going to be a person to have that card, is me. Because guess what, bro? Guess what? I ain't selling that fucking card. Ever. Put it in my fucking coffin, bro. I'm never, ever selling that card. And so like, Gary, I'll see you in Vegas. We're gonna
wanna hang out with Gary now. I like Gary.
We're gonna link up in Vegas and just like hang out and stuff. And I just trust, it's there's a card is safe with me, as you know.
How crazy is it to know that?
Car cut. $1 million. No. I'll be homeless with my fucking shopping cart, a little tent made out of plastic bags, and my Charizard.
How crazy is it to know that that's not even the craziest Pokemon story? I'm not saying that we could say shit, but I'm just saying, like, isn't that wild to imagine that what the story you just told is paled dramatically by a story that you will tell in the next thing? And this will only matter to Pokemon fans out there, but like, you guys have your brains
I know what you're talking about.
your brains cannot even begin to fathom what has occurred.